Hey, we back. I'm here on OwO Bot, or more specifically, we're talking about NeonUtil today. NeonUtil is one of them OwO Bot add-ons. We've done a couple of videos on OwO Bot add-ons before, namely Reaction Bot. Reaction Bot is the most popular OwO Bot add-on. It does a bunch of stuff, and if you want to know more about it, I've definitely got a video about that on my channel somewhere. You can find it in the OwO Bot playlist. But today we're talking about NeonUtil, which is a different OwO Bot util bot, and it does different things from OwO Bot. It's pretty nice. We're going to be talking about a couple of OwO Bot utility bots over the next few videos because I was asked to, and it seems like a reasonable suggestion. And this is the one that I've decided to start with. So yes, if you invite this bot to your server, its default prefix will be neon, which is fun. I haven't bothered to change it because I can't be bothered, but you can change it. It also still has thingy. Yeah, it can. It doesn't have to use slash commands. That's the thing. Privileged content intent. That's the one. So nice. We can actually use not slash commands. I'm very happy with that. Makes sense because OwO Bot util bots, or in fact any utility bots for other bots is probably going to require that. But anyway. It's got some nice stuff that the reaction bot doesn't have. We're going to go over a few of those features. If you want to have a look at the help thing, you can see all the commands there. It's right there. And I'm not going to be going over the entire bot's features in this video. So I would recommend having a look at the other ones. Things like wallpaper. I think it's like you can test a wallpaper before you buy it, but like that seems kind of pointless to me because like wallpapers are super cheap anyway. Why do you care? Just buy every wallpaper. But anyway. There are a couple of nice features in this bot, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So, first feature, let's have a look at my weapons. This, I believe, is automatic. You don't need to set this up. It adds a little reaction down here for your weapons. And if we press on this, it's going to give you some nice info. What it does is it checks the maximum possible quality of a certain weapon. Now, we could check this anyway with Reaction Bot. So if I take something like, I don't know, like this, and I check OwO weapon with it, Reaction Bot is going to tell me exactly, in fact, how much it can be. This one gives slightly less detail. It's done some rounding there, or otherwise it's assuming that it gets crit or something. I don't know. Actually, no, because this isn't quite there. Anyway, yeah. This is not quite as accurate as this, I don't think. But the difference is this, you would have to type every single weapon individually, and the weapon command has a cooldown. Whereas with NeonUtil, you can show an entire page worth of weapons at once, which is really nice. Now you will notice this says 14, and OwO Bot shows 15 weapons per page. So what's the other one? It's the orb. The orb, it doesn't do orbs. Of course it doesn't do orbs. Doing orbs doesn't make sense. If you know how orbs work, you'll know why it doesn't do orbs. Its maximum utility is in fact 0% on this one. I love that orb. But yeah, so that's not there. But other than that, it will do every weapon. I just thought I'd point that out in case someone's like, no, it's only done 14, it's missed one of them. Like, no, it missed the orb, we're fine, it did them all. So yeah, it's got all the stuff there. It says which ones are legendaryable, which is 11 of the 14, which is wonderful. I obviously keep only the toppest of quality weapons. So yeah, and then it's also, oh, it's gone. There was a little button under here that I was going to press as well. So if we click on this, it'll give some more information about this as well. So there you go. You've got your with and without crit. There you go. It's still not quite 100%. This is what I mean about this not being quite accurate because it's rounded it. But that's fine. It shows the range of the possible stats. So you can see here I'm missing one stat on that strength modifier on this bow. And then we get the, this is really nice, the passive reroll chances. Now I actually made a spreadsheet a while ago, I made a video about it, that works out if you are likely to make a profit based on the passive reroll chances. And it's doing basically the same maths as this. This is displaying in a slightly different way, so if you are specifically looking for profits from shops from rerolling, I would recommend checking out my spreadsheet. But if you just want to know what the percentage chance of getting a certain quality is when you re-roll it, there you have it, and that's pretty nice. 13% chance for a legendary weapon, pretty good. So yeah, that's the first feature that. What am I doing? That's the first feature that we're going to go over. That one's pretty nice. I also wanted to mention the collectibles. Now, setting up the collectibles was a little complicated. I'm just going to scroll up to where I did that up here, because it's a bit funky. I'm not really sure why it's done this way. So if you check your collectibles settings when you're new to the bot, you will find that it says everything is enabled, which is great. And yet, when you then check your collection, it says that you're not tracking your collectibles, which is really weird, because despite the fact that it says tracking is enabled by default, I'm pretty sure you still need to enable it. And so then we go down to where I type the command for enabling it, and it doesn't work unless you use the / command, which is also kind of annoying. So this says, no, you're not using the right setting, despite the fact that I clearly was using tracking. I don't know if maybe the non / command version of this command using a different format or something, but yeah, it means that you kind of have to use the / command if you at least want this to work. But then when you've set that, it says you've updated your settings. It still says the same thing, because of course it was enabled before. And then instead of saying you're not tracking, it just says you don't have any collectibles. So that's what you're going for, because of course you need to tell it which collectibles you've got. So you can see my example here. I checked my crowns. I have 4 crowns. And so then when I check my collectibles, it added it to the list. If you weren't aware, there are a bunch of collectibles in OwO Bot. I've made a video about them before. I don't have a complete list of them. To be honest, this is probably a complete list of them. This is pretty good. And you get them all through various different means. None of them do anything, so don't worry about it. It's all just people that bought the mythic tier of Patreon, I think, that get to add collectibles, or various other commands. You can add whatever you like, but most people just add collectibles. So yeah, crowns is one example of them, and that's one that I have, so that's the one that I used here. But there's a bunch. I probably have a bunch, and you mostly get them from other players, like if you get given one or something like that. So if you are interested in getting a certain collectible, ask around, and yeah, you can probably figure that out. But yeah, this is pretty nice. I haven't seen any other bots so far have a list of all your collectibles like that with tracking it. Of course, in the same way that if you use karuta, kaching, tracking a lot of card stuff, it's only going to track stuff in servers that it's in, and in servers that it's enabled to track stuff in. So if I then go away to a different server and collect a crown where NeonUtil isn't present, and then check, it'll still say 4, because I need to collect the crown where NeonUtil can see it. But I can always update it by typing the command. It tracks that, and it'll update the value when you do that. So that's nice. Good stuff. Collectibles. I like that bit there. Alright, so going back to the help menu, let's have another look at another command. Let's have a look at Fabled. Now, this is an interesting one because there are quite a few spreadsheets that are trying to list all of the records of Fables, and none of them are updated anymore, as far as I'm aware. NeonUtil, of course, is not going to be fully updated either, because it's only going to talk about ones that it has the ability to track. Same deal again. But, as you can see, there's a lot of Fabled weapons here. Of course, some more than others. There is not any Fabled banners. That's probably just because the chance of getting one is so low. Equally, there's not many Fabled spirit staffs or culling scythes, because again the chance of getting them is really low. Then we have the exactly one Fabled Rune of the Forgotten, because that was given to whoever was top on the streak leaderboard when the battle system changed back in 2019. So yeah, we've got that one here, and then there's good few hundred of the easier weapons to max out, like the ones that only have 2 stats. Orbs, I would have imagined, would be the highest value actually, but I guess perhaps it's not taking passives into account anyway, so healing stuff then does only have 2 stats or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, pretty nice that we get this whole list. You can go and check them, see what the codes are, see what their stats are, all the rest of it, and it's pretty cool. As well, if you do have some Fabled weapons yourself, you can see how rare they are, because if you've got, for example, a Fabled spirit staff and you didn't realize how rare it is, you then go, wow, 1 of 6 people in the world is me. Amazing. I kind of doubt that, but like, hey, you never know, there could be secret people out there. Yeah, another feature that we're going to talk about is the logs. If you know anything about the OwO Bot battle logs, they are a bit scuffed. there's a perfect example. They just don't work sometimes. So I have my battle settings on logs, and there you go. Sorry, link. And that's not a link, so it does kind of break sometimes. If I just scroll up to the last battle I did, there we go. We can find the link here. Copy that link. See, what we can do is we can do neon logs and then put the link in, and it fixes the link for you basically. So this is going to give us this link instead. I'm not going to go on these links, but like, trust me, if I opened this, it would show me the link of the battle log, and the OwO Bot ones are a bit temperamental, shall we say, don't really work. So yeah, that's pretty helpful if you want to be using log links. I figure that most people either know how to get around that already or don't care, but yeah, another nice feature. The last one that we're going to be talking about today is the charts. Charts are really nice. Like I said, there is a bunch more features. I just can't be bothered to discuss all of them. You can probably figure them out for yourself. Go and have a look. Some of them are duplicates of reaction bots ones as well, like the animal one, I think. Dex, there we go. I think this is pretty much the same as reaction bot. And the reminders as well, it has some reminders, and it actually says on the description, like, yeah, if you want custom reminders, just use reaction bot instead, which is hilarious. But anyway, we have charts. So I'm going to put help chart in here, because chart is, if you're any NeonUtil devs watching this video, here's a nice tip for you. If I type neon chart, it doesn't do anything. It could quite easily open up this menu, which would be quite nice, or at least tell me that I need to select a chart. The other thing is, if I type neon chart and then say gem instead of gems, that's a misspelling. Okay, no, that one is actually going to show up. Fine. Say I misspelt it, right? I've meant to type gems. The point is nothing comes up, and I feel like it would be nice to just say that's not a chart that's available or something like that, because otherwise, if you don't realize you've misspelt it, you might be waiting for it to load or something like that. I don't know. I feel like that is a missed opportunity there. You should have a message that says you've not put in right, and I think this should open up this menu. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, as long as you do it correctly, it comes up with a chart, and these are pretty helpful charts. You can find all of these charts already in the pinned messages on the OwO Bot official server, and a lot of other OwO Bot servers for that matter. I think a few of them are pinned in my server as well. So yeah, you probably recognize some of these charts, but this has got a nice list of charts, and some of them are pretty helpful. It's much easier to use something like this than it is to go and find some pin in the OwO Bot official server, be hunting around for a little bit, right? So that's pretty nice. I do like that feature. I will certainly be pointing my new members of OwO Bot on my server towards these charts much more easily now, which is wonderful. So yeah, that's another one that we've got there. Anyway, all in all, good bot. Thanks NeonUtil for making those features, much appreciate. And I've pretty much said everything that I want to say in this video. Like I said at the start, I would recommend having a look at the bot yourself, having a look at its other features. It's probably quite useful. It does do a fair few things that Reaction Bot doesn't do, and it seems like it's deliberately not stepping on Reaction Bot's toes too much as well. They definitely complement each other rather than just fight over doing the same thing, which is wonderful. Always good when you get bots that are actually useful together, hey? Anyway, I'm going to be ending this video here. So, yeah, bye!